We're all just counting down the days. But okay, so let's dive in because we have some questions.
Okay, and Sarah and I have not previously discussed this.
We haven't, and I'm actually, one, I hope I know the answers to the questions, and two, I'm excited to hear your your answers. Let's see. This is going way back. Okay, Cathey, what's the biggest thing you've learned in your 20s? We're going to be 34 this year, so gosh, the 20s were some growing up years, but what's the biggest thing you learned in your 20s?
Yeah, I think that it was a growing up season because I got married when I was 21, 20. I got married when I was 20.
So young.
Went to college, went to grad school, started a career. So like major growing up years in the 20s. Like it's kind of a blur. But I think the biggest thing was like I learned who I was and I found confidence in like being an adult. I think those first few years of your 20s, especially out of college, you're like, what am I doing? Am I just a fake and everything? And sometimes I still feel that way.
Yeah.
But I feel like I gained confidence in who I was as just like an individual person.
I love that. Okay, so I think I was a little bit of a late bloomer because in my 20s were my like hard knock years of mistakes where I learned from those. I don't feel like I was that confident. My late 20s, I started to gain confidence and professionally was doing better. And I think looking back, I probably found my self-worth in like other areas that now I don't. But they were growing up years. I learned how to be responsible. I learned how to be on time. And I think those were the years where I just like grew up a lot and learned how maybe to start to find my own voice, which I think is really important.
Yeah, you used to be kind of like show up 10 minutes late, and you would never do that now.
No.
I know. I forgot about that. I used to just get mad at Sarah because she would make us late on our first day of school.
I actually grew up a lot in my 20s. I learned the hard way from a lot of, mistakes, but I think that I started growing into myself, and I found my voice finally in my 20s, which I'm grateful for that. Okay, 30s. We're kind of still in the 30s.
Yeah,
we're 4 years into 30s.
We're into it.
Life is done a 180 since we were in our 20s. So, what have you learned so far in your 30s?
I think that in my 30s, I have learned to be content. Like contentment. Amen. I think that in my 20s, before I had kids too, and just before, and I do think this is a privilege. Like I just like where I am at life right now. And that's a privilege that a lot of people don't have. But I always feel like I was working for the next thing or looking to what was next or planning. And I think for the first time ever, I just am really content with life at the moment. And I've learned to settle into things even if they don't feel comfortable all the time.
Oh, I love that. I'm going to agree with you on that. Twin vibes. I think in my 30s, the early 30s started off rocky for me, obviously, but I learned a whole lot about contentment and about what happiness was. And I think, like you said, always just searching for the next, whatever was going to make me happy. And I think I learned to be present more in my 30s. Gratitude, to be grateful for even, everything along the way.
I think both of us too, going through cancer in those first few years and me walking you through that and then going through surrogacy, like I feel like both of us in our own sense have learned that we can do hard things and we can overcome, and that gives me a sense of contentment and encouragement, because I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen next, but dang, if we did that, we can do anything.
I think I said I found my voice in my 20s. I think I found strength in my 30s. Ooh. I think that you're right. It's like contentment, it's gratitude. I think both of our perspectives